If you're a single mom living off one income and you're tired of surviving, this was just me not too long ago. Hey, I'm Dee Denise, and I help burnt out single moms on one income learn digital marketing so they never have to worry about one paycheck ever again. And if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then girl, stay tuned. Okay. So I work a draining 9 to 5 that is mentally and physically draining. I am depleted by the time I get home. We literally see 200, at the most 200 patients a day. So I'm constantly answering phones. I'm constantly answering questions. I'm constantly talking to the students. Constantly talking to patients and doctors and just everyone, right? Because I work at a front desk and I am the face of the clinic. Okay. So it is very, very just draining. On top of that, the pay is just, it's just not enough, quite frankly. It pays the bills, but that's it. So I remember a time I was constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul, moving money here, borrowing this, having to pay it back, and just on a constant hamster wheel. Not only do I have a demanding job that drains me mentally and physically, after I come home, I have to be a mom. I have a 10-year-old and she needs me, right? I come home after work, I help her with homework. Now I'm gonna be honest, I sometimes cook because at some one point she was in dance. So there's no way that I'm working a 9 to 5. I'm coming home, helping with homework, and then have to cook and then take her to dance, sit there for a couple hours, and we're getting home by 8:30, 9 o'clock, and have to no. So on those days, I definitely didn't cook. We ate out, but still, it's still like the constant, you're on the go. I feel like I never have any time to just sit and breathe. And when I do, I am on the couch, I'm sitting on the couch, and I can't even put into words how drained and depleted I am. Okay, after a day's work. Not to say that I'm not grateful, because I am grateful for having a job. I'm grateful that I can pay for benefits, that my kids have benefits. I'm grateful that my daughter, I could do tuition reimbursement and things of that nature. So, nevertheless, I am grateful for my job. But at the same time, I'm tired. A girl is tired, okay? So, just a few months back, there were a lot of layoffs at the job. My department got hit really bad. Few doctors had got laid off. University wide, it was a big, massive layoff. So again, like, I am grateful that I have my job, but at the same time, it kind of got me going like, okay, this can happen at any time. And especially with AI taking over everyone's job. I had a patient come in the other day and said he literally had just gotten fired, came in to make an appointment. And he told me that AI, his job just laid him off, and that AI was taking over his position, which is wild. So at any time, you can walk in to your job and they, telling you that, well, we're going to have to terminate you, or we're going to have to let you go because AI is taking over your job. Like, that is a blow within itself. So I just, really came to realize that one income is just not safe anymore. You can't rely on one income. It's scary, as I always say, one income is too close to none. So just imagine you going into your job and that same day you leave with no job, and then what? So now I want to be totally honest here, because I know a lot of moms are in this same place. I had already invested in a course prior to the layoffs. And the course itself was amazing. It was put together aesthetically pleasing. It had all the modules in there. It had 6, 7, 8 figure earners in there. And to me, it left me a little intimidated. So it didn't align with me. Again, amazing course. I would say it wasn't built with moms in mind, so it still had me confused and overwhelmed. And I was just like, what is this? What am I doing? And honestly, I wasn't consistent because I didn't feel connected to it, if that makes sense. So when all of that happened at my job, I knew I needed something different. And I liked the idea of digital marketing and digital products. I really did. I knew I just needed a better way to understand it fully. So that's when I found a program that was specifically built for moms from point A to point Z. Okay. And it really changed everything to me because at this point, I wasn't just getting information, I literally had a plan. I had structure, I had a plan, I had a community of moms that actually knew where I was coming from, that understood where I was coming from. And the best part about it, like if I had any questions, I wasn't sitting there stuck, not asking, not just trying to wing it. There is literally a community of mom that is more than willing to help. And also the creator of the program is very hands-on. That made it even more welcoming. And for the first time, I was not confused anymore, which was great. I finally understood what I was doing, and that made it so much more easier for me to show up more consistent. And that's when I started seeing growth. I started growing. I started getting views on my content. I mean, like thousands. Like I was at one point 150,000 in less than 30 days. I started getting views. I started getting leads. I started getting moms messaging me, asking me questions about, you know, what it is that I do. So as I started showing up every day, I started making my content. I was creating my content. I learned that I didn't have to be perfect. I didn't have to be, this big content creator. I didn't have to be any of those things. I just needed to be me. And when I did that, when I showed up, when I created the content, that showed me that this really works. It really does work. So after being consistent, after showing up in spite of, right, the circumstances, my background, whatever, I was literally able to grow my followings from 3 followers to like 605 in less than 30 days. I started getting leads every day, multiple a day. I started having moms message me, something that I have been trying to do for months. But once I got consistent and once I told myself, like, girl, you gotta stick with this. You can't, one day show up and then you don't show up for 3 days. You have to stay the course. You gotta stay committed. And that's what I did. And once I did, things started happening. I started getting views. I was getting I got 150,000 views in less than 30 days. So for me, this is not about becoming a millionaire overnight. I just want peace. I just want to be able to have my bills be on auto pay. I want to be able to be present for my daughter. I don't want to have to beg for time off or PTO or fight somebody, not literally, for the same day off for PTO. I want time freedom and I want financial freedom. So that is my biggest why for me starting digital marketing. Again, it's not because I want to be a millionaire. I mean, if it happens, great. I just want to be able to be comfortable, right? My ultimate goal is to be a stay-at-home mom because I don't want to work a 9 to 5. And I know if you guys seen any of my lives, I frequently talk about that. Like the 9 to 5 is just not for me anymore. Like I'm not trying to convince anyone to quit their jobs. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for me, the 9 to 5 is just not in my cards. I don't see myself being 70 years old, retiring, and then supposedly living the rest of my life, my best life. I want to live my best life while I can, Again, I just don't want to be overstimulated. I just don't want to be living in survival mode. I just want peace. And I know I'm not the only mom that feels that way. So, girl, if you are a single mom and you are tired of just living the same mundane life and you're tired of trying to figure it out all on your own, I have a free training in my bio. I want you to go to my bio and I want you to click that training. And it breaks down what digital marketing is and how you can get started. And if you're serious about not depending on one income anymore, go watch that video first. And if any of this resonated with you, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I am documenting this firsthand here. Talk to you soon.